everyone, I'm Emily with Paint Couture, and today we're talking about our crystal paste. Our crystal pastes are dimensional textured pastes that are made in the USA, and they come in 4 awesome colors. Our first crystal paste is called Diamond, and I'm going to open it up for you so you can see what it looks like. And it is this white sparkly paste, but when it dries in this beautiful clear sparkly diamond look. Our next crystal paste is called Pearl, and right out of the container it has this beautiful pearly sheen, and when it dries, it also dries into a beautiful pearlescent textured paste. Next up, we have our Silver Crystal Paste. This paste has a lot of texture and crystals and shine and sparkle. Once dried, it has a beautiful silvery textured look. Last but not least is our Gold Crystal Paste, and it is just as vibrant in the container as well as when it dries. Now that we've gone over the paste, let's use it. I'm going to apply 3 of our crystal paste on this dragon journal that I've created. Our crystal paste provides depth and texture, so this is the perfect project to do it on. I'm going to start out by using our Silver Crystal Paste. You can apply our crystal paste with a silicone brush, a stencil brush, a paintbrush, a palette knife, and even a plastic scraper. Right now I'm going to use a paintbrush to apply the silver crystal paste. Our silver crystal paste is nice and thick, so I always like to put a good amount on my brush wherever I want to paint it on. This dragon has a icy snow vibe, so I really want to add the silver to get that really nice ice diamond crystal texture. So the technique I'm adding around the eye is I'm taking the silver paste onto my brush and I am just dabbing it on. Since this is a thicker paste, the dabbing motion really helps it get into the area I'd like it to get into. Now I'm just going to use my paintbrush and I am just going to paint it onto the corners of this journal. Since the silver crystal paste is darker than my background color, it's really going to add the depth and texture I want to add to the corners of this journal. It's going to add that nice shading look. These crystal pastes are great for a number of things. They're great for card makers, artists, crafters, junk journalists, mixed media creators, and furniture artists. Today you're seeing it in a crafty journal type of vibe, but don't let that fool you. You can use it on almost everything. Okay, so now I want to show you the Pearl Crystal Paste in action. I love this pearl crystal paste because to me it looks like snow, and since this is a winter snow icy dragon, what better way to make it look like snow than adding our pearl crystal paste. Our pearl crystal paste is less thick than our silver crystal paste, so it is really easy to just paint on. So that's all I'm going to do. I am just going to paint on the top of these horns to give it that snowy vibe. Now I'm going to use diamond crystal paste and I'm going to paint this all over my journal in different areas. Since this dries a little more clear, it's going to really add that extra sparkle on top of this journal that I want. Now I'm just going to use my finger to kind of smooth out all the texture because I want to get the diamonds into the crevices. I want that sparkle to be everywhere. So this is another great technique you can use if you just kind of want to spread out your crystal paste. You can just use your finger. The last step I want to show you to the front of this journal is how you can again use your paintbrushes and just paint it on top of something. I'm going to go back with my 3 crystal paste colors that I've been using, and I'm just going to paint it on like you see right now. This is going to add the texture I want from the paste as well as the sparkle and the depth. I am putting the silver and the pearl crystal paste right next to each other, and then I'm just blending the 2 together with my brush. This allows that nice smooth transition from one paste to another. Our crystal pastes are great for stenciling, so I'm going to show you here how I stenciled the back of the journal with our crystal paste. Here we have a scale stencil and I'm just placing it on the back cover of this journal. And then I am going to take my plastic little scraper, and this is perfect to just scoop out some of the crystal paste. And then I'm going to hold down the stencil and I am just going to scrape the pearl paste right over the stencil. You can also definitely use a silicone brush, a stencil brush, or even a palette knife, and you would get the same sort of technique and application. I'm making smooth, even swipes with my plastic scraper to get a nice, smooth look. I'm going to finish applying this to the back of this journal, leaving the outside edges blank. I'm now going to remove the stencil now that I have my paste down, and then I'm just going to use my finger to get rid of any excess paste that I don't want there. A great way to blend in the edges of your stencil that you crystal paste is to use your paintbrush and just paint around the stencil with more crystal paste. So I'm just going around the stencil with pearl and then again with silver, and that's just going to give me a nice transition between the stencil and the edges of the journal. I've used brushes and plastic scrapers, and the great thing about this crystal paste that since it's water-based, it's really easy to just clean up with soap and water. So that's what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to clean up my brushes and scrapers with just some soap and water. Now I'm going to let it dry, and here is the final look of our journal. Here's the nice back cover all dried, and you can see the beautiful shiny pearl texture paste with the silver in the corners. Here's a final look at the front of our dragon journal. Crystal paste provides a vibrant and radiating beauty to any project, and you can just see how this crystal paste added so much vibrancy and beauty to this project. The depth and sparkle is undeniable. Thank you so much for watching this crystal paste tutorial.